We all know weather patterns are changing, and there's much evidence that the climate is changing itself. So what does that mean for sustainable drainage on a site like this? After all, there are many sites like this around the country, and traditionally it means a large building area, this one typically 40,000 square feet of roof area here, as well as the hard park standing. What happens when it rains is that all of that water runs off and it has to go somewhere. More importantly, it also has a large number of pollution components within it. So let's take a look at what makes up sustainable drainage on a large urban facility such as this.
We have a car park that's laid to a 1 in 64, falling away from the building generally across the site, and we have a midpoint collection of Eco Q-Max slot drains. Within them there are gully outlets that in turn connects through a granular discharge banket that's buried under the car park surface, which then in turn collects and discharges down into the swale at the bottom of the site.
The swale was quite important to the overall sustainability from the planning point of view, was it, Chris?
We're very keen in Leicester to see these sort of solutions, and yes, the swale is quite a traditional, or becoming a more traditional type of sustainable drainage feature. I think what's so exciting here is the way in which the water eventually gets to that swale through the two linear collection areas, through the blankets that are hidden under the surface of the car park, but are actually quite simple in their technology. First of all, it's managing the quantity, but more importantly here, it's treating the actual sort of water that's going through. So these filter blankets under the surface of the car park actually help to clean the water, which is further cleaned through the swale.
So let's talk about the sustainable drainage elements of this site. The roof area and the car park area are delivering around about 300 litres per second of rainfall that has to be dealt with. And we have to deal with that for both the quantity of water as well as the quality. Now the first part of the rainfall management is through this channel drain system, the Eco Q-Max system, and this sits around about halfway down the car park. So we've got the channel taking the water from the surface, and that is conveyed to these special outlets. Now these were designed specifically for this site. First of all, the actual outlet is very, very shallow, which enables connection to ongoing surface suds, and that's quite important. It's also important that we actually take out a lot of the sediments that are present in car park stormwater runoff. And we're doing that in two ways on this project. Firstly, there are these bespoke filter units. Now, as you see, they're manufactured from stainless steel, and there is a removable cartridge here, and the pore size on this mesh is 500 microns. The second line of defence is actually this bag of polystyrene beads. Now this might sound quite unlikely, but this has been proven by Sheffield University to offer some quite good performance with respect to pollution removal for sediments, hydrocarbons and metals. The bag will be installed in the special shallow invert gully chambers which we've designed specifically for this site. The second value that this bag brings is actually during the construction phase. As you can imagine, an awful lot of pollution runs off a site like this during construction. A lot of concrete, a lot of dust, a lot of other particulates, and these bags are great inside the drainage system, which is often the first part of the installation in place, and this helps keep the drainage system running smoothly and the receiving waters free of the pollution from such sites.
So this is quite an important manhole. This is taking all of the roof drainage and drainage from the channel drains, which comes this way after the filtration. This is the petrol filling station. The separator and water treatment system aims to remove particulates, and that's quite key because particulates are the carriers of pollution. As well as the particulates, it's also removing dissolved metals, particularly dissolved zinc, dissolved copper. From the water treatment plant that is installed here, the water then discharges to the next set of treatment, which is a vegetative swale area.
This is what's so exciting about SUDS. With traditional drainage systems, it was just about the drainage. You got the water off the site and that was it. With SUDS, it's about drainage, plus lots of other wonderful things. Here we can have wildlife habitats, we can have a beautiful bit of greenery. At the moment it doesn't look much, but in the near future we'll have wildflowers growing here and various other planted shrubs that provide a nice environment for the people in the houses behind as opposed to just a car park. And it'll just be nice for us all in our, as we go about our daily lives, to see a bit of greenery, a bit of wildlife. Fantastic.
Often swales are depicted as very steep-sided ditches that wouldn't support their own wildlife. This is the opposite. This is great. You've got shallow sides. The thing is not geometric. It's not harsh. You've got these gentle slopes. You've got very nicely designed outfalls so that you've got no health and safety risks here. You've got tree planting, hedge planting. There's going to be marsh marigolds and sedges and rushes in the base of this area. This is just going to get nicer and nicer. There's a lot of really nice detailing here that may not be obvious, but outfalls and where water comes in. There's no large engineering structures with big concrete aprons. It's all very natural. Those bumps in the bottom there, they're going to help oxygenate the water as it comes in. And there's a whole series of these. This isn't the only one. They happen regularly all along the swale, which is another thing we should try. We should try for multi-points of water entering, and that again reduces the risk of scour or erosion at any particular point. So this is the sort of detail we want to see. There's a very nice head wall as well. So we're avoiding those sort of in-your-face engineering structures. These are going to do the job just as well. They're going to be safer, more attractive, and help to blend into the eventual landscape.
So for the first time, we've managed to take an urban industrial site that has typically been built around traditional methods of drainage, taking water off the surface as fast as possible, putting it underground. This time, we're managing water on or near the surface, treating it for quality. Indeed, there are more than 3 treatment stages here, and we're putting it finally into detention basins and swales and creating a natural environment where biodiversity will flourish.
This is one of the great things. It means that no longer can a developer say to us, we can't do this, because we can say, if Asda can do it, then you can do it. And Asda can do it, not only achieve it, but do it well. And that's what we want to see.